G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. Check out where I am. How beautiful is this location? Just in case you're not aware, let me tell you where I am. I'm in Shelley Beach over here at Manly, and the waters here are absolutely pristine. It's a marine sanctuary. It's a westerly facing beach, one of the few westerly facing coastal beaches on the east coast of Australia. So you can come to this beach and see the sun setting in the west and have sun drenching you all afternoon. It is a glorious place to be. And I'm a member of a swim club here called Bold and Beautiful, which swims from South Stein across there at Manly to Shelley Beach and back, and it's a 1.5 kilometre ocean swim. But the colours of the waters here, the fish life, the number of sharks between here and South Stein are just remarkable. You've got bronze whalers, you've got grey nurse sharks, and stacks of fish. So it's beautiful to come here snorkeling. It's great to come here for a swim. And as you can see, the colours are very Athenian, very Aegean-like, just glorious. And when the sun comes out, it's even more beautiful. Anyway, what I want to do today is, whilst I've got your attention, I want to take you through a book summary entitled The Coach's Survival Guide by an author named Kim Morgan. And this book is about people who want to embark on life coaching, and I guess other coaching as well. And I guess it's important also for parents and other people similar to that. So I won't go too close to the edge, because if I go too close, I'll end up down there. So bear with me, and if you hear a clunk, you know that I've gone too far. So this book here is about coaching and how to establish yourself and establish a reputation to be able to help people with your skills and to become a life coach. So the author here kicks off with a quote, an interesting quote. It's a quote which is, I guess, relevant for all people with all their endeavours. And he says that if you don't drive your business, you'll be driven out of business. So this is just a wake-up call to all of those people saying, well, if you're not proactive, if you're not into it, then you're just wasting your time and you're going to suffer the consequences. So what are the key points to come out of this book? And the key points, like everything, is that, people go to university, people do courses and all of that sort of stuff to get certified. But the certification means nothing. All it does when you get certified is that it shows people, it shows others that you've got a ticket to the dance. It doesn't tell people how good you are. It doesn't tell people what your experience is. And it just is an entry point. So just getting certified alone isn't enough to get you to where you want to be. So there's a number of steps that we all need to take if they want to embark on becoming life coaches. So people, as the author said, are looking for experience. They're looking for people who have got runs on the board. They're looking for people who can work with them to achieve the desires and the goals that they've set for themselves. And they're looking for people who can show them the road, can take them by the hand and lead them to a place that they didn't even know was possible. So the author then gives us a couple of ideas to newbies, people who are just starting out in business, people who are just starting out in their consulting adventures. And he basically says, she says, that one thing that you can do to get started is maybe to try and offer free coaching time in exchange for testimonials. So identifying a target audience, a target group, and offering some of those people in that target, some influencers maybe, some free coaching time in exchange, of course, if it works out, for some testimonials, because testimonials work, and it's all about word of mouth and hearing the experiences that other people have, and that in itself is where we all need to get to in everything we do. You know, it's not just going to university and getting my accounting degree. I had to build up experience. I had to build a reputation. I had to build my own competency and capability and confidence to be able to work with people and to stand on my own 2 feet without feeling as if I'm a fake, so to speak. So the next point that the author talks about, and let me just move around and just go to a different location to get a different sort of aspect. The next thing that the author talks about is a thing called imposter syndrome, where the author says that one of the biggest challenges that everybody faces when they're starting out in business or when they're starting out with whatever that they're doing is that they all have a fear. They have a fear of being imposters and a fear of being found out by clients, by their friends, by their families. So this is a very, very powerful point to come out of this book. This whole concept of imposter syndrome. As I say, I wasn't quite aware of this, but I guess we've all felt it. I felt it when I was doing Uppersize, when I first became a coach, an instructor, should I say. You know, you just feel as if, I hope I don't get found out. I hope people don't realise that, I'm not as good as what I think I am, or what they may think I am. The same thing happened to me when I did karate, when I got my black belt. You start to doubt yourself, and you start to wonder, I hope I don't make a mistake. I hope I don't get embarrassed in public and people find out that I'm not quite up to the standard of being a black belt. And of course, I got it when I finished university and I started working. So all of these things are really, really important to understand, to acknowledge, and to appreciate. But it gets better. The author teaches us and shows us what to do. And he says that some people underrate their capabilities. A lot of people have second thoughts, they have doubts, which are created in their own mind. They could be irrational fears that they have. It could be some stupid passing comment that your friends, your family, or somebody else has said along the way. Now you've got to understand that when people are new at something, they need to be encouraged. They don't need you to say, smart ass comments that could get them to doubt themselves and cause them to not start off on the right footing. So wherever you can, when you've got newbies, new people starting something, be the wind beneath their wings, be the water, the wave beneath their board, be the zephyr, the wind that bellows their sails and flutters their flag, and be the propellers that help propel them forward without fear and without the self-doubt that comes with starting something new. So what is imposter syndrome? Have you experienced it? Do you know what I'm talking about? And if you haven't experienced it, then chances are that you haven't pushed yourself hard enough and far enough. But imposter syndrome is where you think of yourself as unworthy of doing the work. And some people with imposter syndrome tend to overcompensate. And you see this in the workforce. Over the years I've worked with a lot of people, and they have tended to overcompensate because they don't see themselves worthy enough. They don't think that they're sexy enough or smart enough or good enough. What they do is they overcompensate by working longer hours, by charging less, by passing work onto other people, by the things they say, the things they do, which is not good, because as a customer, I want to go to somebody and at least think, not know, but at least think that they know what they're doing and that they're confident and capable, or confident in their capabilities. Because some people, as I said before, overcompensate for their own perceived, it may not be real, it could be a perceived lack of confidence about their abilities, and they feel like they're a fraud. But what the author here tells us is we need to understand that all people, if not all people, most people feel like they're a fraud when they first begin to do something, that they haven't developed all of the skills and all of the experience to do it. But the good thing is that after a while, just like me with Jim's 5 a.m. club, after a while, you do enough of them that you build the confidence, you build the skills, and then you don't feel like you're a fraud anymore. You feel as if this is your calling, this is what you're designed to do, and you just love doing what you're doing. So it's important to understand this whole thing about the self-worth issues that some people may have. But once again, it's not about just thinking about your own self-worth. What the author says here is that some people doubt themselves, but some people also perceive others as being much better at what they do, when it's just a perception. They may have talked themselves up. A lot of people talk themselves up. They talk themselves up in terms of their sexual, capabilities. Men do it all the time, talking about how good they are in bed and how big they are and how this and how that. It's all just a bit of posturing and a bit of myth for a lot of people, because if people were that good or as good as what they thought they were, then they'd have the women hanging around them for much longer, and they wouldn't be single for the rest of their lives. So sometimes, as I said before, it's the self-doubt that you have, but it's also sometimes other people bullshit so much and promote themselves so much that they not only convince other people how good they are, but they convince the people close to them that maybe they're not good enough. And it happens with children. The worst thing in the world is to be the son or daughter of an elite sports champion, because you're always going to be growing up in their shadow. You're always going to think that you're not good enough. You're never good enough to be as good as your parent. So let's just move on now. So the last point to come out of this book is that to give the best advice to others, you need to get your own work and life in order first. How important is this? How many people do we have in our lives trying to tell us what to do? People trying to guide us on COVID-19 or investment advice or relationship advice, when they themselves are living an absolute mess. So the author here says that first and foremost, if you want to be a leader in your field, if you want to be respected and honored, then you need to get your act sorted out first. Be careful not to put others' needs ahead of your own needs. I absolutely love this point. As parents, as leaders, as contributors to teams, to society, regardless of who you are and what you do, we all have wants and needs. We're not talking about wants now, but needs. We all need certain things in order to function properly. And the author says something really powerful here, that we need to put our needs, you need to put your needs ahead of my needs. My wife needs to put her needs ahead of my needs. My children need to put their needs in front of my needs. And of course, I need to put my needs in front of everybody else's needs. Because once I've done that, and I'm fulfilled, and I'm happy, then and only then I can be generous enough to then overflow my cup and help others around me through my support, through my network, through my capabilities, because I've satisfied my needs, my immediate needs. They don't distract me any longer. So take that into account, and it's a very, very profound point that comes out of this book. If there's one lesson that we all need to know, is to learn to put our needs in front of others' needs, without, of course, being obnoxious, without being selfish, but in terms of being responsible. So what else can we learn from this book? So we all need to look after ourselves in order to add exceptional value to others, is the point coming out of this book. And some people feel useless if they are not working long hours. So the big point, the big final point to come out of this book is that each and every one of us need to reach a point and to reach for balance in our lives. Not to overwork, not to overcommit, not to overpromise, not to overgive, not to be overly selfish, but to find a balance. Eat, but eat enough. Work enough. Sleep enough. Do everything, as the Greeks say, in moderation. Anyway, I think I've said enough for today. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation from Jim's 5 a.m. Club. I'm alive, I am well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and most importantly, get off the couch. Get out of your house and start to discover the beauty that you have on your doorstep. Sydney is a beautiful, beautiful place. There are so many places around Sydney that we can all discover and rediscover. They're just a drive away, and the best place to visit and to discover Sydney is early in the morning. Australia, Sydney, unlike Greece and other places, is an AM destination. It's a place for the early riser. So just take point, just take note, and just learn from some of the lessons that I've been able to learn over the years. This is a glorious, a beautiful place, as you can see. So let's finish off, and I look forward to coming to you again from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment, where we can live, learn, and pass it on. So thank you, everybody. Yasas, Daleme, from Jim's 5 a.m. Club. Vilaka, and bye for now. Bye.